So we recently went to Comic Con. Now I've been to the Akron Comic Convention. I've been to Wizard World, Cleveland, but never Cincinnati. So in this case, the Cincinnati Comic Expo. It's a 3-day event. We went to the event on Saturday. We did skip the Galactic Bash, the Star Wars themed evening of fun, because there was so much cool Star Wars stuff out there on the floor. And in this case, too, so many cool superheroes and supervillains that we got to see.
Yeah.
And I think where it all kind of started is when we went and parked the car. So we were going up to the top floor of the parking garage. We passed Spider-Gwen and What If Spider-Man. And then we also passed Doctor Strange and Wanda.
Yeah.
We start walking down to the convention center, and you're just hit with the comic book culture, which this is your first time doing one of these. What was it like for you?
It was cool. It's the cliche 0 to 100 real quick. Knowledgeable in Marvel, Star Wars, I would say to a considerable degree, but just going there and I really liked that I really went in with like no expectations. All I went in with was you being excited about it, hearing some stories, but that was it. So to walk in and as you were saying, driving through the parking garage and you're already met with these characters, for me it was like, what else are we gonna see? And we saw a lot, and there was just so much. Look at here, look at there, and I think you and I got to a point where, not to skip, because we'll talk about it, but not to skip to the end. Afterwards, we went and stopped at Kroger, of all places. And it was just so much like seeing people in character and in costume for, 7 hours, really?
Exactly, yeah.
That we got to Kroger, I was just trained at that point already to just like, I looking at that, someone getting some apples or something, expecting them to be a stormtrooper or something. It was disappointing. It was like, man, I wish this was reality, So it was good.
I mean, it's not only do you just see people in costume. Everybody was in a shirt that represented a fandom or something. I mean, everything was comic book related, even the music that they play.
Yeah,
and
was music?
They did. Yeah, it was kind of subtle every now and then, and it wasn't like it's Spider-Man's theme. It was like non-licensed, like heroic sounding music.
Okay.
They really, the Comic-Con DJ really put on that 7-hour loop of the epic battle music. I
could only imagine if they had a booth up there. I mean, so. This is really cool just how they converted a whole convention center for it. And obviously each convention center is a little different. The one in Cincinnati at the Duke Energy Convention Center.
Yes, sir.
It was really cool because in that main room in the middle, we had like this skywalk looking thing. Yeah. So this is different for each place, but I could just picture for Cincy having the DJ right up there where it's glass on each side of the sidewalk. And so you get the 360 view as you're walking through the center. You got this dude spinning those French horns, or
right?
Whatever other.
Play Shang-Chi's music.
Shang-Chi, yeah.
Yo.
Any requests?
Oh man.
So to the music, yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean so they have celebrities that go there. They have comic book creators that go there. Obviously, fans, different vendors. I mean, you and I hopped in and out of at least 50 to 100 different booths just looking at collectibles or comic books. And, there was so much. There were costume clubs like the 501st, which is Star Wars' main costume club. Lucasfilm will employ them if they ever need to do a scene in Mandalorian with like a bunch of troopers. They'll have them come in, or they'll go to hospitals. And some of these folks were just really cool to get to meet.
They were a lot of fun. It was like, I mean, Darth Vader. You know Chewbacca, Director Krennic, but to see these guys who are essentially local, kind of be their own local superstars, if you will, it was really cool to see. It's like, I mean, to bring it back, I don't know, to bring it to sports, you have the LeBron, you have the Stephen Curry, and that's a national, worldwide known person. Everyone knows who Darth Vader is. Everyone knows who Kylo Ren is. But there's these people who get to dress up, and for us, it was super cool because it's like they're their own version of the Director Krennic or the Princess Leia, whatever. It's like every hometown has their football team, and there's always that best player, and he's known. He gets the free scoop of ice cream at the local Cold Stone, or like we love this guy locally. And that's how it felt like there at the convention center. There's some fun stories that I would love to share and talk about because it's like these are the guys who are them, but here in the Cincinnati area. And it was just really cool to see that and connect it obviously with your personal love and inspiration with Star Wars and that mixing with everyone else. It's pretty cool. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's not every day that you get to see George Lucas. Now, it's not actually George Lucas, but
I swear to God, bro, I thought that was George Lucas.
I thought it was him too, dude. Because he just had this unhappy expression on his face 24/7. He had the Nike Air Monarchs in the exact color, the flannel, the jeans,
the belt.
Who tucks in the flannel?
He even had his physique.
He had the homie was a little rotund.
He was.
Yeah. Speaking of rotund, how about that Kylo Ren we saw? Yo, talk about playing to your strength.
Playing to your strength. That was a lot of fun too, because it's like there's just so many levels of degrees in which people play to their characters. Where that guy looks exactly like Homelander. That girl looks just like She-Hulk or whatever it is. And there were some people where like, okay,
Billy Butcher.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Homelander with the beard.
Homelander with the beard. It's like, you know what? That is your favorite character. We get it. That looks great. For me personally and selfishly, do someone else. Pick someone else. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
No, Kylo Ren made my day. It was. There's a joke I'm really proud of. I'm not gonna say, wow, it's so great. But you and I had a fair share of inside jokes that we kind of spun. I mean, hey, that guy was in costume. We weren't.
Right.
So,
yeah, homie was probably sweating his ass off, and we weren't.
We weren't.
And so the last thing we want to do is, dog on him for it. But yeah, there's one of the coolest people that we ran into was the guy that was playing Director Krennic from Rogue One. Because his personality, his physique, his face, all of it fit Director Krennic. Then you factor in the fact that his costume is pretty screen accurate.
Right.
And that's the cool thing about the 501st. The troop, the cosplay trooping legion, is all of their armor is pretty accurate to the source. They have to send in their costumes to the 501st headquarters, and they grade it. And I think you need a B or higher. And they grade it based on how accurate to the movie it is. And then the 501st, they work with the Lucasfilm archives to pool the real costumes so they actually can compare them, which is amazing. So Director Krennic, he looked pretty dang good. We went right up to him for a photo. My brother, his favorite character being Director Krennic. So we needed to make it happen. We go right up to him. He hands me his blaster, and I'm like, wow, I get to hold his blaster. First thing Director Krennic says, yeah, it's a cheap piece of shit that I 3D printed. And it's like, wow. He was super cool and everything, and he was kind of swishing the cape, gave you those little serious looks.
Yeah, he gives you that look.
But I wasn't expecting all that from him. And then we get a photo. Alan hops in a photo with him. He makes a remark to you about his glove.
Something about it, yeah. He's like, I would be wearing my gloves, but... also adding to the pieces of shit, they were cheap pieces of shit from Amazon. Oh, damn! I didn't know Amazon was in the galaxy far, far away.
Right?
It's so funny.
Oh man! So then we're about to skedaddle. He says, before you do, there's a trading card. You got to go grab it, and it has me on it. It has like my ID. Super cool. They didn't make trading cards of these folks. But before we left, I was on a mission. We should have whipped out the voice memos app, but we didn't. Got to try and be respectful. I had to ask him, Krennic, what do you think about Tarkin? Because he was pretty in character.
Right.
But, if the in character thing to say about Grand Moff Tarkin would be, he's a good for nothing loser, and he's swindling my work, and the Death Star's my project. He takes all the credit.
Yeah.
So we asked him, Dr. Krennic, what do you think about Grand Moff Tarkin? And now what'd he say?
Tarkin? That guy's a bastard. He said he's a bastard.
Dude, I didn't know Dr. Krennic had such a mouth on him.
He had a mouth.
Yeah.
He did. Well, I think what we love so much about this guy is, and again, adding to the whole like local hero thing. Like, I know Director Krennic, but this guy just made that character for me. Like, he made that so attainable. He made that character someone I could root for more than just being on screen.
Yeah.
And seeing him go through his trials and tribulations throughout Rogue One and whatnot. I got to actually experience it, even though that wasn't him. It was really cool because he played the part, he played the role, and it just added to it. And so for us, that was so much fun. Everyone's in costume. That some people did some really, really cool stuff, very accurate, screen accurate costumes. But some of these people without the helmets, without the masks, just to me I felt so much more connected, obviously, to them. And it added to it. And you talked about the trading card. I brought him over.
I brought it over. This was not planned. Whoa. What? No way.
Dude.
We both brought the visuals.
We brought
Let him know.
that there he is. There he is. I mean, I'm not sure how far you can zoom into this.
He's a legend.
He's got the blaster out. He's got his 3D printed work.
Yeah.
He's got so I think to add to it, you see some purple like squiggles underneath that.
Yes, sir.
That is something. This was a couple hours spanning, adding to the lore and the love for Director Krennic, but more so our boy.
Our boy, whose name we won't say, but we do have his name.
But it's right here. So cool.
So yeah, we go doing other things for 2 hours. We come back and we're like, "Where's Krennic? Where's Krennic?" He is nowhere to be seen. And then Alan's like, "Yo, that's our boy," and he's like in a somewhat of a rebel officer outfit.
Yeah.
So we're yelling his real name, 'cause it's on the back of the card. We're geeking out, and then we asked just for his signature. We're like, "Dude, who would have thought that Director Krennic would have been the coolest character we would run into?"
Yeah.
I mean, there was some wild stuff. There was an Enfys nest. There was a guy walking around as Predator, and it was pretty cool. He was a pretty short Predator, too. I mean, there were all sorts of just knockout, lights out, awesome outfits. There was even that Heath Ledger Joker that was doing the killer impression.
That was sweet.
Too. I mean, amazing. Who'd have thought that Krennic, the most least exciting character, would have been that cool? But like you said, it was the personality. Everything just matched up. So we go up to him, we get an autograph, and he starts whipping out his phone and showing us all the other costumes that he does. And he's like, "Yesterday I was this character, and tomorrow I'll be a Tusken Raider." And it's like, whoa. So the fact that I don't know if we would have paid any attention to him if he was a Tusken Raider. Mm-hmm. So the fact that he was one of our favorite characters, and it was just, it was all so perfect.
We found him at the right time. And then, again, in the realm, I think this is funny. In the realm of sports, you got LeBron wearing he's playing a game, he's in his jersey. Some games, LeBron's either hurt or he's taking a rest, and he's wearing normal clothes. And in basketball terms, it's called street clothes.
Yes.
So it's that guy. Oh, he's in street clothes. Like that's him for the game. Where's LeBron? Oh, not he's in street clothes, meaning he's not going to play. We saw Director Krennic in action, and then we saw street clothes. Like that is, and so again, it just added to like this level of connection that I don't feel like I would have otherwise had to a character like Director Krennic, because it's like you see him in the movies and he's at work. He's always at work, but what does he do when he gets home? What does he look like when he goes home? I mean, our boy. Again, not to say his name, had socks pretty much all the way up to his knees.
There were some knee highs.
He had those bad shoes on, like those loafer-looking things. His shirt was like partially tucked in, but it wasn't, with like cargo shorts that like pretty much met the socks that came up to his knees. It's like, imagine Director Krennic coming home from work after getting absolutely shat on by Tarkin, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna hey, go give me a cold one.